Welcome to another edition of Tea Talk, a transsexual's perspective on the world around us. Today's show is about an incident that happened to a friend of mine. It really got me to thinking about how far the GLBT community has come in regards to human rights, civil rights. And as a transgender person who has gone through a lot of discrimination on many different levels, I know that we've come a long way. But after hearing this particular incident, I also realized that we have a long way to go. Now, I'm not going to disclose his name to respect his privacy, but I will kind of give you a description of him. He is a white American in his 40s. He is gay, and he's not a very effeminate acting man. He does have some feminine traits or qualities, but to look at him right off, you wouldn't necessarily know. Although I do say that when you're gay, it's more of an essence. I don't care how you look. There's a lot of very masculine men that I see, masculine looking men, and right away I'll know that they're gay because of the essence. So anyway, he's from West Virginia, a farm guy. You know, he grew up on a farm. He's very handy with his hands. We call him the handyman. And he's been going to school for air conditioning. Now, that's a year-long program. And, you know, it requires you being certified. It's a very good feel living here in South Florida because it's hot as hell. But, yeah, it's a really good field to go into. And he's about halfway through the program now. Last week, he was starting a new module, so he was going into a new class. And he walks into the class. He had never met the teacher before. She was a Haitian woman. And he always likes to sit at in the first row of the class. That's just him. He wants to hear everything, and he was really excited about getting his certification in air conditioning. So he sits down, and the woman looks up. The teacher looks up at him, and she stands up and she says, "Does anyone know what toi means?" So everyone's like looking around at each other. Toi? What does toi mean? So she says, well, toi refers to an effeminate acting man, a very feminine acting man. You know, the kind that walk around wearing 2 earrings, and some of them wear lipstick. And she says, you know, I just totally disagree with that. And if I see anyone out in public looking like that, I will actually approach them. She goes on to say that she's Christian, and she believes that homosexuality is wrong, and that she has a right to say this. So my first initial thought is, okay, we all have a right to our own beliefs, yes. But in 2009, do you stand up in front of a class and say that? I thought that was totally out of line. And actually my friend was just so taken aback. You know, he actually started to have like a anxiety attack. And he is very white-skinned, or he doesn't have much melanin in the skin, so when he gets embarrassed, he turns beet red. And he was in the front, so he felt like everyone was basically looking at him. And he said the class was laughing as she went on to speak about this topic. And she then says that she has a West Indian friend, a guy friend. And one time this homosexual came to her home for something, and when her West Indian friend found out about it, he actually got holy water, and he went through the house blessing the house and went over the lawn, blessing the lawn to get rid of the evil spirits that homosexuals carry with them. I screamed when I heard this story because it's 2009, people. And even if you feel that way, even if you believe that, that's something you want to keep to yourself. Or either speak it around like-minded people, other people that have that same belief. But you're standing in front of a class, in front of students that are paying to take this training, and you're going to make a comment, derogatory comment, towards a particular student. So anyway, my friend, he sits there and he's just starting to have like more of an anxiety attack. And he's writing down everything she's saying to, I guess, document it. He probably figured he wouldn't remember everything because he was so upset. And then after about 15-20 minutes of this, he just walked out of the class. So when he walks out of the class, he's actually walking out, and one of the directors of the school happens to be walking down the hall. So he stops him and he says, "Listen, can I please talk with you? I've just been discriminated against." And basically the director kind of just told him to go have a seat over there, and he had something to do, he'd be back. So he was, in other words, he wasn't very attentive. And I don't really know what interaction him and my friend had after that, because I didn't really get the details of that, but evidently my friend wasn't satisfied. So he came home, he left school, and he actually wrote a formal letter of complaint and went back the next day in the morning to actually speak to the director of the school. And so he walks in and he asks for the director, and the secretary says, "Oh, he's not available." And so my friend says, "Well, can I leave this documentation here with you, and is there anything that you can give me for proof of me leaving it?" And basically the secretary proceeded to say that no, there's nothing that they give in regards to that. If he wants to, he can leave it and come back later to speak to the director. So fast forward around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, another friend of mine goes up there with him, because they go back to the school, and she went up there for support. So they walk into the office, and my friend asks for the director, and the secretary says, "Oh, he's standing right there." So he walks over to the director and he says, "Well, you know, my name is such and such." And the director looks at him and says, "You're such and such?" So my friend says, "Yes." "You're the one that left the letter of complaint?" "Yes." "Okay, well, you've been basically taken out of the system, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can go ahead down to financial aid to sign off on some papers, and you're basically out of the program." So he was very curt with it, and my girlfriend that went with my friend says to the director, "Well, are you aware of the human rights ordinance here in Broward County?" And by the way, the name of the school is ATI, and it's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it's located at Power Line Road and Oakland Park Boulevard. ATI. So the director looks at her and says, "I'm not talking with you," and turns back to my friend and says, "So as I said, you're out of the program. You can go down to the office to sign whatever papers for financial aid." So anyway, my girlfriend was just so floored about the whole thing, and when I heard the story, I just had to talk about it, because I feel that in 2009, we've come so far, but something like this still being able to happen at a school was just it totally blew me away. So anyway, I just wanted to share with everyone, and it is definitely something to think about. Until next time, love, peace, and blessings.